up on Southern rock with my dad, like Allman's and Marshall Tucker Band, Charlie Daniels Band, so.
The New Hampshire Southern rock.
Yeah, those northern southern vibes, you know.
Allman Brothers, they get through to everyone, all over the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, who hasn't heard Jessica, you know, growing up a million times, and that's one of the songs that we'll tease of the Allman Brothers. And yeah, my dad was into all sorts of classic rock, and some of their better known tunes would get into my ears at a young age. And I mean, it's so kind of like guitar focused. When I was a guitarist, I feel like, I mean, that's just my opinion, but I feel like Southern rock is very like much a guitar driven genre.
Now that you bring that up,
soloing.
You two do very much of a guitar dueling thing in jams that is very Allman Brothers-esque. I don't know if you originally intended that, and then we started doing a little Allman Brothers stuff, and it was accentuated or just over the time. But you guys will, even in jams, you know, work off each other and build those lines, kind of improv the way that those, you know, I feel like the Allman Brothers kind of had them, the soaring guitar melodies together.
And everyone growing up here, like, everyone who grew up here, like, you know, has Allman Brothers kind of just subconsciously in the back of their brains, just because their licks were so melodic and catchy. And then, I mean, some classic songs like Whipping Post, you know, it's just very hard to forget that song once you hear it.
Yeah. One of my first favorite albums, like randomly, was Shades of Two Worlds by Allman Brothers. My dad had it in his like huge CD collection, and for some reason that album like spoke to me as like a little kid. And I didn't like dive super deep into Allman Brothers until like later, until probably like late high school. But yeah, when I was young, I loved that Allman Brothers album. It definitely like helped shape my music taste.
It's also really cool that like all the bands are kind of playing. Some of them are playing themed sets, like Pink Talking Fish plays, you know, Eats a Bunch of Peaches or whatever they did, and Carl Denson Tonight. And we're also playing The Peach this summer, and we're stoked for, you know, some more tributes to the great Allman Brothers. I mean, it's pretty wild that of all the festivals in the country, there are a handful that are really pay tribute to them. So it's not the end of our teasing of the brothers that are Allman.
As they would say, life's a peach, eat it.
Life's a peach, eat it. Very good. You guys are definitely, so you said you've had some Southern rock influences, definitely funky and have some electronic influences. How's the rise in popularity of electronic music influenced your style, especially when you play a fest like Wanee, which is more of like a jam dance century festival?
We have a very unique brand of what I call PDM, Pigeons dance music, and it's not necessarily electronic, but it is meant to keep people moving and grooving. So personally, as a bass player, I've taken the tonal contributions that electronic music has contributed towards, you know, making speakers, sound systems better, and just bringing the low end out, and just try to have an organic approach to creating. And then this is just from a bass player perspective. But you know, Jeremy's got a bunch of cool effects to bring out the, you know, modern flair that really ties the room together.
I mean, I've got a bunch of pedals that can kind of simulate synth tones and sort of sound like an organ rig or whatever I need it to sound like, and some weird filters that kind of change, make it not, make people think, is that really guitar happening right now?
Well, you were the one who recommended the octave pedal, which is what I use primarily for my sound.
I think overall we just appreciate you know, the importance of keeping music or live music danceable throughout the show. And this doesn't mean that it's always really hyper intense dancing, but if it's in a valley during our sets as opposed to a peak, it might be flowable, but you're going to be dancing. So we, you know, that underlying heartbeat is always there, even when we're bringing this, you know, the energy down before we peak it back out into a frenzy. But you know, having that underlying dance beat is definitely from electronic and jamtronica shows that we've been to, where we appreciate continuous music and, you know, psychedelic transitions and a constant dance beat, you know, whether it be high dynamics or low.
For Live It Up, you guys definitely like broke that down.
Yeah,
earlier,
you know, like
this really cool synthesize.
That's definitely from the influence of seeing more so jamtronica bands than electronic for me.
New Deal
but
was big.
the
Early on, New Deal,
was-
Lotus,
was
and STS9
huge
were
for
huge for the Jamtronica type thing.
feeling that thumping bass.
But
and
with them
heartbeat
especially,
throughout
that's-
the dance party.
That's what sold me on the live aspect versus the the electronic. There's really good production. It's really loud and hyper and intense and energetic. But that groove, that vibe that you get with the live aspect of it, I love the sound of the Jamtronica. But having that soul and that feel and the groove, like you said, is what keeps me coming back to live music and why I'm very honored to be part of a live band that's touring the country.
So I have to ask, how did Pigeons Playing Ping Pong, that name, come to be? I have a feeling it had something to do with B.F. Skinner and the birth of the
No, that's
Pigeons
actually,
album,
you know,
but-
everyone thinks that. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I was having a dream and I could smell bacon in the dream. And I thought that, like, so, like, the whole dream was like a quest for bacon, and I was, like, going through various lands, trying to, like, I could climb over a ladder, and then boom, now I'm in, like, the yellow land, and I would, like, defeat the yellow land and make my way to the blue lands, and, like, just went through a lot of different colors. And when I woke up, there was Pigeons Playing Ping Pong.
And you never seen the experiments with B.F. Skinner before that, James?
What? Who?
B.F. Skinner, he taught pigeons how to play ping pong.
He
He's
was like a baseball player.
No, he was a psychologist. He taught pigeons how to
Troy
play
wasn't
ping
on
pong.
like the Astros.
When was he around? What was his...
I don't know which in there he was, but he definitely taught pigeons how to play ping pong.
You learn something new every day, gentlemen.
Yeah, you learn something new every day.
There you go. Well, okay. Well, so it came from your dream. It was all a dream.
It was all a dream.
There we go.
I
Seems
used
to
to
be a
eat
good-
bacon
And then the yellow room I battled.
in... I can't think of anything around here.
Bacon made you do it. Right.
The bacon made me do it.
Bacon and turquoise.
So, you guys always have a blast on stage. Yes. Well, how
Yeah.
do you guys keep it fresh? How do you guys not get bored with the same sound? How do you always make it different on stage? You guys always sound different live. Your songs always do.
I mean, every song, in the studio, we have perfect arrangements where we can sometimes overdub extra guitars and vocals. Live, it takes on its own unique energy with A, the live arrangement, and B, we leave open sections for improv that can go in any direction in any night. So, like,
If a crowd's
one
feeling
night,
it, we want to go heavy.
yeah, one night the song could be a 4-minute, simple, straightforward song. The next night could be 9 minutes. And after that could be 25 minutes if we really just dive into it and take it out there. And
Or 64 minutes.
really, it's everything. When we play it live, we try to open the doors and like see where the music takes us, and that really keeps it interesting and fun for us. So we play the same song 2 nights in a row. We're not really playing the same song, the same like structure, but we go
It
off
also
and
helps
explore
you-
different things.
Varying the set list every night. Jeremy's runs point on is very helpful to keep things interesting and new because it might be the same songs, but if you're doing it in between these 2 different songs, you've never done it that way before, it's going to affect you and the crowd differently. So that you dig the constant tweaking and moving around and adding new songs and the theme type stuff. That's, to me, makes it, each time you get back to the same thing, you've come at it with a fresh set of eyes. After doing a Disney New Year's Eve, I approach a lot of our songwriting a lot differently, just seeing how they've arranged stuff is pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah, big thing is we do have we've never repeated a set list in 10 years. Every night, we work hard to make sure you play a unique set list, have some new transitions, and just change it up. So, even if we play the song like stripped down, basic 4-minute version, it's going to be such a different set list. The flow will naturally be different, and the set will have an overall different energy.
Yeah, we made some alterations to our set today on the spot. We had a set in mind, and it turned out that we ended up jamming a lot more in the earlier songs in the beginning of the set, so we had to cut about 16 minutes of planned music just because we had already jammed that. And just the other day we did a 63-minute song because we just are continuing to try to push ourselves to go outside our comfort level, and we practice all the time. And as far as having fun on stage, we just appreciate every moment that we have to do this, and as long as we're pushing ourselves and appreciating it, we're in pretty good shape. It's pretty fulfilling to work hard and have fun.
And plus, every night we're playing in a different city to a different crowd of people, and everyone feeds a different energy to us. And it's fun seeing like familiar faces and different faces every night on tour.
Do you guys have anything planned in the future for new releases? You guys working on anything?
We had a turtle in a cage. We're gonna release that at some point.
Okay. Catch and release.
No, he just started in the cage. I don't know how it happened, but we're gonna release him.
You got a
Is that what you were talking about?
Right now, we're coming up on the heels of our festival Dome Fest, which we organize and play 5 sets at, and we're just kind of focusing on our festival. That's takes up a lot of our mind's eye for a while, and then after that, it's gearing up for the next big thing, whether it be a release or something crazy. We're always brewing up pretty wild ideas.
We got something crazy.
So any collaborations or jams planned for the festival?
Dome Fest is very,
fly by, if it happens, it sort of happens.
It's very open, it's very, loose, and sit-ins are welcome, and, we had some sit-ins last year that were great. We had the Swift Technique players come up for Give It To Me Baby by Rick James, which was so much fun, and we're really good friends with all the bands that are playing, including some new faces that we'll be meeting, and we're always open to jamming. That's what it's all about. It's all about collaborating and pushing each other to be the best player you can be, and keeping that teamwork vibe going, because jamming's all about teamwork. So it's kind of the sum of all of our parts. The festival overarching on that.
All right. So what is your most memorable collaboration today from each of you? Who have you enjoyed jamming with the most?
A lot of them.
Yeah, I have 3 off the bat.
Okay.
Easy.
Yeah.
O'Teal Burbage.
Okay.
At Strange Creek, he was standing by the side of the stage. All good Allman Brother reference there, yeah. He's at Strange Creek, he was artist at large, and I wasn't actually as into the Allman Brothers, and I knew his name, but I didn't know what he exactly looked like, and he was just standing very, just hanging out by the stage in a sweatshirt with his hood up, and we saw him sitting with the band before us with his stack of cabs on stage, and we're like, yo, do you want to sit in with us or leave your stuff here? And he sat in on I think Space Jam and Hop FU maybe, and he just did this, I don't know, it changed the way I thought about music, not just bass. Having him stand next to me and hearing what he was doing, he's a genius. So that's, if I'm going to pick one, that's the one I'll pick.
It's kind of random, but I loved the Snarky Horns, which was actually here.
Yeah. That was here.
Yeah, that was at like.
Yeah, I thought it was a
Luna Light.
Yeah.
Oh no, we saw Snarky here.
That's right.
Yeah.
I always confuse those because it was like a side stage tent. But randomly, yeah, Snarky Horns. That was it.
We did have Jennifer Hartwig here though.
With
Oh,
Natalie
Jen
Preston.
and
Yeah, that was the
Preston,
one
yeah.
that was here.
That was at the
Yeah, that was great too.
Yeah,
That was
they
really
were
good too. Yeah, probably Snarky Horns.
Jim?
There's a lot of them.
John Kay.
I guess some memorable ones for me would be having Aaron Magner play keys with us one time.
Oh yeah, that's
And
awesome.
a long time ago. And then having John Kadlicek sit in for a string of songs.
And that was during a
5-6 years ago.
That was memorable.
It was really fun. He's a really creative guitar player, and he really pushed it far when we were jamming with him. And it was really fun.
I really enjoyed when it was the most surreal sit-in early on for us was Carl Denson at the 930 Club in DC. That was just nuts because he's such a good player. We've been seeing him for such a long time. But one of my favorite sit-ins was Mike Rempel from Lotus on New Year's Eve. Again, another guitarist that I've been seeing for so long and really look up to as a patient player with really great melodic sense and a really relaxing stage presence. And it was very surreal to have him sit in with us and see his stage presence just standing next to him and enjoying his patient solo as we built one of our original songs. And it was really inspiring because he actually reached out to us and made sure he got to listen to the song beforehand and came prepared and put time and effort into it because he's a professional musician and he appreciates what he does. And it was really refreshing to see a band that we look up to take our sit-in so seriously, and he nailed it. It was pretty surreal and very much appreciated.
So do you guys back to Suwannee, what's the thing that you look forward to? What do you find special about this place? Because a lot of people call it magical. It's a second home to a lot of people here.
The first thing I think of is the trees, the mushroom stage.
Spanish
It's just
moss.
dripping, drooping Spanish moss, and sick music all the time. And that's my first thought. And then I think about the Black River, which I still never been to. That's probably why I think about it.
Just heard about it.
I've just heard about it. I don't believe it's real.
It's a myth.
Alright, well, we gotta get you guys out there. It is magical.
Yeah, just the vibe, man. Just the vibe.
Well, there was that one moment during. You got the show. You want to finish this line? Pretty cool.
We're still like coming off 420.
Well, when the covering over the crowd lifted up, and you were just like
Oh man, that was
lifting the thing out. There's these moments where I guess the universe becomes more of like the us-averse.
Suwannee has great timing. Like the sun poured out.
Oh
towards the end of
yeah,
our
it
set,
was good.
and,
It's vibey.
The bubbles flew in and hit both of us in the face, like in a good way. And it's just a magical spot. I mean, magical is the word. We're thrilled to be back. Some of our newer crew haven't been here before, and we were excited to show them the place. And can't wait to see it at night as the lights hit the trees and everything starts to fall into place.
We'll make it happen sunrise or sunset at the river. You have to make it happen.
All right, yeah, I know. So I've been told.
So what? You're just hearing about this.
The river?
There's
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
apparently there's some sort of like algae that has a reaction to the water, and there's a black foam that rises to the top of a river, so it's
The
just
water's
a black
black.
river.
Have you been there?
Oh yeah.
I know all about
I
it.
live like an hour. I live like an hour away, so I've been coming here since I was like 16. But there's an algae. It makes the detritus, the decay of like the wood and all of that makes the water black. So then on the background you have like this limestone. It's like beautiful in the background.
And where is
Trees
it?
pouring
It's like
over it.
all the way over there,
So,
right?
so this road right here, so there's River Road. So the road forks right here. So if you take River Road and don't go to where the amphitheater is, you just keep going all the way down that road. It's all the way at the end.
How long of a walk?
I would take a golf cart or a car.
Yeah.
It's far. Like a 30-minute walk. But
Word.
I can make it happen.
You'll find
Cool.
the golf cart.
Find an extra golf cart. Let me know.
I can get you guys in a golf cart. Get down there.
Oh.
I'll check it out.
Is that it?
Yeah.
You ended so smoothly.
Let me stop while I can with these guys.
Signing off.
Yeah.
This has been an interview with Pigeons playing ping pong.